Welcome back to the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. I'm your host, Howell Mabalot, and you're watching us live in the Philippines via GSAT-1 and in Southeast Asia via GSAT-1 as well. And we're back on the second and last segment of our show about Data Privacy Act and data privacy protection of our consumers. With us once again is the founding president of NADPOP, or the National Association of Data Protection Officers of the Philippines, Sir Sam Jacoba. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Howell, thank you again for having me here.
It's a pleasure.
Yep.
So let's educate our consumers right now, our viewers right now.
But you know, how I was telling you during the break, right? You know, you may be wondering why companies are really, exerting all efforts to gather data.
Oh, why?
And to analyze them, right? And synthesize them. You know, data kasi right now, it's called the new oil.
It's the new oil.
Or the new gold.
It's the new gold.
It's very, very valuable. Okay? Why is it so?
Yes.
Because, it's all about competitive advantage.
Okay.
But the know that you more about the customer, the better that you can serve them. It's actually good for consumers if you're going to look at it at the long term. Okay. So what's bad though is that, again, if you're part of that statistics or that group that they're mining, right? You may not agree to the method of how they mine.
Okay.
For example, there have been rumors that apps can hear what you're talking about, right?
Really?
So
could be. Could be.
Correct. So there are keywords, for example.
You know what, sir? I have more than a dozen free apps in my phone, and you mentioned that it's not free.
That's correct.
Why? Because it's given to us for free
Yes.
in exchange for our very valuable
Personal information.
which is the new gold.
Correct. So they actually capture your the demographics, and more importantly, the psychographics.
Which is why when somebody watches, for example, a video on YouTube or on Facebook, it gets interrupted every 1 minute
By
an ad that best suits you.
That's correct. Like,
so that
how
you'll be
did they
tempted
know?
and whet your appetite, and you'd be buying from these online shopping companies.
That's the part.
And how did they know? That's the
By
question.
Yeah. So they have a profile of you.
So every time
they
you
build
log
on
in,
top of.
every time you log in, every time you use the social media platforms, they make a digital copy of who you are. Ayan.
Correct.
Oo.
So which is
So scary. That's scary.
It is. But at the same time, if you don't care, like Facebook by in itself, for example, they really are moving towards openness.
Okay.
That privacy will be like non-existent because everything's open. But that's a dream world that we can aspire for. Some of us need, to our own time, our own me time, our own private time. It's enshrined there. I don't like my life to be open to everyone, for everyone to see, right? But going back again, I mentioned competitive advantage.
Yes.
Right? So
when they have the data,
when they have the data, then they can probably better serve their customers. And when they better serve their customers, they gain more profits. That's the.
it could be win-win.
Yep, definitely.
But taken to an extent, it could be.
Okay, this is where the danger comes in.
Oh.
Okay, sure, they have taken care of it. There are people actually who purposely, want to get those data illegally.
So are they from the same companies?
They can be internal to the company, or they can be external people.
Okay.
Like the biggest data breach that happened in the Philippines is still the Comelec or the Comelec breach, right? 56 million voters' information were hacked, and they were sold.
Hacked and sold.
Yes.
Which affected the result of.
No, that's a different one. That's
okay.
Yeah. This one,
So if it's hacked and sold, what does it mean to the Philippine
let me share
economy?
with you how it's valuable, right? So the data points there at the Comelec, for example, when your bank calls you, what do they ask you for security measures, right?
Yeah.
Some of them ask your mother's maiden name.
Yes.
The Comelec database has
the
your mother's
maiden name.
That's correct. So if you notice in the past few years, the banks have changed that. They don't ask that.
So the maiden name is more valuable than the surname, because surname is a given.
Yeah, because that can unlock your financial records, for example, in the bank.
So for example, if you have an online banking app and somebody got to steal
that one,
your data, they could somehow.
They can siphon up your entire life savings, man. So.
And you cannot trace where it went.
You cannot. They have ways to do that.
Oh my.
So there are people really, we call them hackers, right? But they're really online or cyber criminals.
So we call them cyber criminals.
They are. They're some of them are like, you should not worry about the kids who hack it. You should worry about the organized people who really take pains to do this. What happened in the Bank of New York and Bank of Bangladesh that made its way here, really, that one was an elaborate heist. I'll send you the link to that one, but that one is like several years in the making. They didn't just hack into it and then get the money and run. No. They need to prepare, for example, the path of the money.
So there's a prelude. And there, it's been contemplated.
Yes.
It's a careful plan.
Yes, yes.
So that they will never be traced.
That's correct. That's correct. Up to now, have you heard of anyone,
So how can we prevent it from happening in the Philippines?
So if you're personal hygiene.
Of course, our moms and
So
household.
mommies and daddies.
Yeah, so-
it actually starts at home.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that your kids go to the right, go to the right sites.
right
Control
sites.
their access rights on their devices and on their PC. Make sure that your software, for example, start there are up to date or
Okay.
patches against, and don't buy pirated software. I came from Microsoft, so
Okay, so-
before.
So-
So buy licensed software, for example.
And pirated softwares are
they can
rampant
have- they can-
in
yeah.
online shopping
Correct.
companies.
They can have malware.
Yes.
That goes with it. Okay, be careful when you go to sites, especially
Yep.
the dubious ones. Okay.
Okay.
So especially the sites that are, that serve things that we don't like to see
Okay, okay.
on the internet. So, and then educate your kids. For example, some of the
So education is still the number one weapon.
Yeah. Tell them not to share their information to anyone. For example, someone calls the house like, "Hey, I'm your mommy's friend. Blah, blah, she forgot her, etc."
Oh.
So there are a lot of ways that people can get your information, but we need to be. I don't like to say the word paranoid. Just
Okay.
we need to be extra careful when
So,
it deals with our personal information.
We educate our kids to not talk to strangers. So even if
Yeah.
by chance they got to answer the phone, we tell them, put on the
Yep.
phone.
Or what they put on their chat
Okay.
messages, for example. So those are easily ways for criminals to get your sensitive personal information.
That's preventive. That's how we prevent
That's
it.
correct. Correct.
Okay, for those who are whose data have been mined already or have been sold to undesirable people.
Again, exercise your rights. For example, you can tell, for example, your telco or your bank. Your bank, sometimes they pass on your data to their other divisions, right? Just tell them, exercise your rights.
Or for example, a bank is part of a conglomerate.
Yeah. We assume that the bank already is, compliant with the Data Privacy Act.
Okay.
Therefore, they should not share.
They should not.
Or based on the rights that you have given them, or the consent you've given them. You can tell them, hey, Mr. Bank, I don't like you to send me those email every month.
Okay.
You can tell that. Just send it to me every quarter.
So be assertive. Know your
correct.
rights and be assertive.
That's correct. Exercise
That's a
your
good
rights.
thing. So it starts with education.
Yep.
And assertion
Yep, of your rights.
of your rights. And then what else can we do? For
Then,
example,
if they want to pursue, as I mentioned to you, the Data Privacy Act has created a whole industry on privacy. From that emerged a data protection officer.
Okay.
So they can pursue actually a career in data privacy.
Okay, there's a career in the Philippines on data privacy.
And abroad, Europe alone needs around 40,000 data protection
So how
officers.
can one college student be a DPO,
So
a data
listen,
privacy officer?
Again, if you are a fresh graduate, maybe you can take up, even if you're planning to, you can take up a course on data science, for example.
Okay, which is how
Yeah.
long?
It's a four-year course.
It's still a
Some of
four-year
There are
course.
2 schools that are offering it right now. That can be one path.
Let's mention the schools in the Philippines. Wag na lang. Sige.
But I know some school near your,
Okay.
it's beside your office.
Yeah, okay, sige.
So they can also take up business courses because, as I mentioned, a lot of much of it data privacy is about business transformation.
Yes, I agree. So I love the word transformation.
Yes.
Why? Because the disruption by the technology
Yep.
has really made people be on their toes all the time.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
In fact, nowadays, some people will not leave their houses and have their groceries delivered,
Yeah.
everything delivered.
Correct.
Let me ask you this question. What about those young people who were in love and because of their foolishness, they get to record something that
know.
they didn't want to share to the
Yep.
public?
Yep.
And a partner, for example, the boyfriend would threaten the girlfriend.
I know.
If you break up with me, I'll share this content. What can the ex-girlfriend do?
Well, the first one, she can complain to, again, the NPC.
Okay.
And then complain against the boyfriend. Okay? Or the ex.
Or the ex.
The
yes,
ex
yes, yes, yes.
who may spread, for example.
So coercing the girl to
That's
stay in
correct.
a relationship.
That's correct. Secondly, there are services right now that can actually crawl the net looking for those, and then they can snuff it out.
Oh, okay.
So there's also erasure services.
So technology can be our friend.
That's correct. And our foe also.
Can
it's
be our foe.
It's neutral.
So it's really overwhelming.
It's neutral.
It is powerful, but it's never negative nor positive.
Yep, it's neutral.
It depends on the person who.
That's correct. Who
wields
wields
it.
it? Who wields it, definitely.
wields it.
So the good thing is that even though there are hackers out there, they're they're white hackers.
So white hackers are those who
the-
attack, who
They're also called
counterattack.
ethical hackers. So,
Ethical hackers.
what ethical hackers do is that you enter into an agreement with them, and they'll help you to look for vulnerabilities in your system. So that's why they're called ethical
Okay,
hackers.
so it's like for CPAs, auditors,
That's
they would
correct.
say, this is vulnerable.
This is hotspot.
There's
you
a
know, do
finding.
this. Yep. And then do it.
And then you get to prepare.
That's correct.
Okay.
So, but some companies, they should take, should act on it.
Should every organization?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So there's a service called VAPT, Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing. That's what ethical hackers do. They look at all of the holes in your organization.
They employ it for free, or is
Some
the
of them
diagnosis
some of them they can engage for a fee.
So that's part of the package.
That's correct.
So they will diagnose and then they will propose. Depending on the severity.
That's correct.
or the need
So
for
both
protection.
digital and of course physical. You may have vulnerabilities on your. For example, if you in your building, right?
Oh.
There's a logbook for visitors. Let me tell you a secret. When I was with sales before, I look at the log and see if my competitors are calling on the customers. You can see it there, right?
Okay, so for those watching right now, so logbooks are, so we need to take care of the logbooks, especially of big condo units. With 300 residents.
Again, the premise you're collecting data.
Yeah. So nobody can just flip through the logbook and take a picture.
Correct.
And steal their.
And some buildings even collect government IDs.
Oh, okay.
Under the law, a government ID is a sensitive personal information. So
I'm having a problem with the pigeonholes. For example, you open your pigeonhole, you get your.
That's theft. And
then there are some ads. And there are some ads. You get your bills, and there are some ads for laundry.
Correct.
So is that a violation or no?
Again, it's a physical measure that has to be addressed by the building administration. One of the requirements of the law. Let me enumerate them. There are five commandments of the NPC in order for a company to be compliant. The first one is to appoint a data protection officer. Okay. The second one is to conduct privacy impact assessments.
Privacy impact.
That's correct.
Assessments, PIA.
PA or PIA. That's the process where you look for vulnerabilities in your organizational, technical, or people
How often
processes.
should they do that?
They should do it regularly.
Okay.
And then that one, after the privacy impact assessment or PIA, you need to come up with your privacy management program. That's a term.
Okay.
And then from that program, you should have a privacy manual.
They should all have.
Which is a living document. Meaning, for example, if there's a new business process that comes out, you need to do step 2 again. PIA that business process, and then integrate it in the program, and then write it in the manual.
Okay.
And the fifth one is that you need to prepare for breach continuously and constantly.
Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
That's where the technology.
So it will be ever evolving.
Yep.
It will be ever evolving.
Actually, what the law did is that they have prescribed this. It's actually a business transformation
Pretty much
process.
covered all bases.
Correct.
So how will it affect BPOs and whether local or international?
The BPOs are the ones that lobbied for the law.
Okay,
to
so
be
they're
passed.
the ones who did it.
Yep, because most of the clients are from other countries, right? And their databases are being acted on here. How will the telemarketers call, right? It's to those databases. So they're afraid that the data that they have brought here will be stolen. So that's why they really lobbied hard for those. So we have to thank them for the Data Privacy Act.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yep.
That's a good thing. So the severity of the punishment would be up to 6 years.
That's just for the serious. It can be more if it's wholesale.
It could be more.
Yep. If it's more than 100, that's has been breached. That's wholesale already.
Okay, so we're showing some pictures of what has been, what you have been busy with as NADPOP founding president. So let's show some pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one, how we told you that when we
you gave awards.
Yep. When we formed the organization, we felt that we really need to help DPO so that they won't be afraid of their role.
Datos Privados.
Datos Privados. So we launched this just last Tuesday. So we're going to recognize people and institutions who have championed, that's our chairman, Manuel, who have championed data privacy in the Philippines. So it's a panel discussion that we had at that night. That's former Commissioner Don Di Mapa and Dr. Laliana. So we talked about what the outlook and lessons for 2019.
Okay.
So what emerged from this one really is about ethics. At the end of the day, it's all about...
It all boils down to ethics.
Yep. How do you value a person, right? And how do you value, more importantly, his or her personal information?
I agree.
So, again, if you're going to weigh between profitability and purpose, shall we collect this data or this information?
So there should be a perfect balance between profitability and purpose.
Yep.
Because if you are too focused on profitability, then you will be unethical. There's a temptation to be that. So you launched it
last Tuesday.
And when will the first awarding be?
February 22nd. That's 2/22/2019.
Okay.
You're invited there, by the way.
Sige, we will be there.
Yep. So at Shangri-La.
And how can the organization join?
Yep. So they can send the email to privado@nadpop.org. That's PRIVADO at nadpop.org.
Okay.
And we're going to send them information. They can nominate themselves.
So the awards are given to individuals?
Yeah.
Organizations?
And programs and projects and solutions.
Projects, even projects.
Yep. For example, we have a category for training programs.
Okay.
So we have several that have been nominated already.
So who will be financing or sponsoring the
This
particular?
If you're nominated, you cannot sponsor the
I mean, the event. Who will be sponsoring the event?
Mostly for our event, the last time, technology companies supported
Okay,
NADPOP.
that's a good thing.
And data privacy solutions providers. As I said, a whole industry emerged from the Data Privacy Act. We've seen startups who have developed data privacy solutions and data security solutions.
So looking at the future in the Philippines, does the
I'm
future
encouraging,
look
yeah.
bright in the
It
Philippines?
does, and I'm encouraging Filipinos to take up, a career on data privacy and data security.
Ayan.
Because there's really a global lack for it. As I mentioned, 40,000 DPOs are needed in Europe alone.
Ayan.
This one is our solution state. It's going to happen on the morning and afternoon of February 22nd. We're
One
going to
asterisk?
one asterisk data.
Okay, one asterisk
Next
data.
year is going to be 2 data.
Okay.
It's a naming convention. So the asterisk represents it's like a person, if you look at it.
Ayan, it looks like a yes,
Yeah,
it
C
is.
data is our executive roundtable. So if you this privacy, profitability, and purpose. That's the theme for that one. We're going to bring in thought
3
leaders.
Ps, I like it.
Yep. And NADPOP really is like on its first year. We're happy that we have 200 members already,
Okay.
and that we're happy that we'll be able to inspire DPOs with the Datos Privados
We have a
Awards.
screening committee.
Yes, we definitely do. For each of the categories, we have
I mean, for those who'd like to, and for those who'd like to be
yeah,
joining
yeah.
the
Definitely.
as DPOs.
You're correct. We have a very strict vetting system because
Okay.
one toxic person can ruin an organization, right? So,
yeah.
in fact, for some of our members, for example, we have a policy that even though they have paid already, if we found out that they are into something, we're going to
shady.
return the money
yeah.
to them. It's like sapos at PH. That's what they do. It's a best practice for them. So, the culture has to fit. And then in this profession,
And what you allow will prosper. Only what you allow will prosper.
Correct.
If you allow nothing short of integrity.
correct.
So
That's the right word. In this profession, you need integrity. Yep.
Integrity. So for those of our viewers who'd like to join and maybe give themselves a chance to be a DPO.
Yeah, definitely. So please send us email, privacy@nadpop.org. That's privacy@nadpop.org. Any questions that you have about data privacy, just send us email. If you want to pursue a career on data privacy, we have several training partners who can provide good discounts for NADPOP members. And if you need help, for example, in your company to comply with the Data Privacy Act, we're more than willing to help you and assist you. We have also a Facebook group that includes members and non-members.
Okay.
Those who are struggling with their Data Privacy Act compliance, they post questions there, and we help them. We help them for free.
Wow. And thank you for your initiative to start this up.
Yeah, thank you, Howell. We'll also invite you to be a member of NADPOP.
I'd be more than glad to and be more than honored to join you.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
We also have a youth outreach program.
Okay, so let's invite her.
It's called JPOP, Junior Privacy.
Oh, JPOP, huh? Japan
JPOP naman,
POP,
yeah.
okay.
So we want to start them young. So we have a program for senior high school and college students. It's going to be
Yes.
launched middle of the year,
Okay.
including those who are taking up law. Because so we'll have a leadership summit sometime.
So ethical leadership.
That's correct.
We can call
That's
it
correct. Start them young. And right now we're going to also talk to DepEd. We have a course. One of our members developed a course from kinder to grade 12.
They're never too young to learn about
on
data
privacy. That's
privacy.
correct.
Wow.
So that's how the
Wonderful.
organization wants to help the country to fulfill our vision. We want the country to become a global center of excellence for
And
data
we want to be
privacy.
globally competitive
That's correct.
without, of course, being the casualty in the end.
That's correct.
So thank you so much, Mr. Sam Jacoba. It's a pleasure to have you
Howell,
here.
thank you very much. My pleasure too.
And thank you for informing our Filipino people.
Yep.
At para sa mga nanonood ngayon, it's good that we have this technology to aid us. It is never negative nor positive. It is never, you're never too young to learn about data privacy, and you're never too old to be a DPO. So with that, maraming salamat. Mabuhay ang Pilipino. Ayaw.